People, deluded, I'm back again. Now, obviously, listen, let's be fair. Obviously, players are working on improving, coaches are working on improving, man. So, listen, I'm not trying to do the ranting thing. But Joe, I feel sorry for Joe, yeah. Now listen, I don't know football like Arteta and the rest of these man, even Emre. They know way more football than man, way more experience than I could ever hope for. I'm just a fan with an opinion, you know. And I want to eat humble pie. I want Joe Willock to be the best number 10 for Arsenal. You know, I want him to be a serious number 10. Clearly there's a, you know, in the younger days he's playing on the wings and playing as a 10 people and doing it in the academy, so he clearly can do it. But there's levels. I don't believe he is a 10 in the first team environment. I don't think that's him. I give him credit. There's got to be something he's showing because, you know, I don't think Maitland-Niles is, but Maitland's not really got an opportunity in midfield, excluding yesterday. I think Nelson can play that 10 role better than him. He's not got there. Emile Smith-Rowe's gone out on loan and Joe stayed. So what is Joe showing that these men aren't? Obviously, Joe's had Lundberg, he's had Arteta, he's had Emre. I might be missing out somebody, but there's been 3 or so managers. In the same way people get onto Xhaka, clearly Xhaka is showing these men something. Joe must be showing something, or maybe there's a push internally from the club to make him that. And I feel sorry for Joe, because he looks like a duck out of water. I think he's played enough games now to know what he's doing right and doing wrong. But I have to ask, and it's not even a criticism of him, of the club, or of Arteta. As a fan, I'm not seeing him improve in that role. I'm not seeing what he offers in that role. And I'm not trying to criticise him. I like Joe. I think Joe's got a role in this squad. I think Joe is at 8. He works in the pivot. I think Joe's got good legs. I think he's better with the game where he's got time receiving off the centre halves. I think he's, you know, I like him. I can see why he started yesterday for the pressing and stuff. But when it comes to the 10, yeah, there's many different things. You know, what areas you take up on the field to get the ball. As much as Ozil's passed it, we know Ozil's got that in his locker. And it's not Ozil's job, but are we saying, you know what, Joe, you're going to work with Ozil in training and learn all of these things Ozil's got that he's not on it, that for as much as he's passed it, he's able to do still, and you add it into your game, and now you're going to be the man for us? Or are we doing one-to-ones with Joe to learn how to play that 10 role to a different level? Because, you know, sometimes he's dropping to, and you know it's not just his fault because bare men have to do that, but he's dropping too deep when you're supposed to be the 10. I think at times he doesn't know what areas to pick up on the ball. I think, you know, I don't think he's seeing the picture before he's received that ball. I think his decision making isn't quite good enough. Even yesterday, a couple at the very few times we were connecting with Eddie and Saka and him, he's messing it up. I don't see what, and just overall the game passed him by. I don't see what he offers in that 10 position. And if we are going to make him a 10, yeah, coaching and improving is the big, apologies. Coaching and improving is a big thing, people. He can improve. Anyone can improve. I'm never going to see it, but are we sitting there doing proper one-to-ones with Joe on the training ground? These are the, this is the, let me make a quick example. Are we sitting down with Joe Willock? And like with all these players, if Maitland is going to play, if Nelson is going to play, you know, are we sitting down? Let me make Joe a blue one. Let me make Joe a blue one, yeah? Just as a quick example. Are we saying to Joe, right, the goalie's moving mad. Quick one, people. Are we saying to Joe being blue, yeah? And the opposition there, are we saying to Joe, let me make these are opposition players, people, yeah? Excluding my man. Like, it's crowded, we can't get out, yeah? Let's just say some madness has happened, a madness has happened now. Are we skilling up Joe to say, alright, cool, when the centre-halves have the ball, you come here, or you stay further up the field and stay here, let your midfield partners collect it, or in the final third, when you see that opportunity, play it here, play it there, have a shot, do whatever. Are we sitting there and doing proper one-to-one to bring his decision-making up to that level? Are we working with him off the ball? Because that's a big thing as to being a 10. Or, you know, look at Kevin, he can do the poetry in motion sort of stuff, and he was previously that to a degree, like the Mesut Ozil 10, but he's also the modern day sort of midfielder. Look, for as good as he is on the ball, and you know, he's got the set pieces and deliveries and all these other technical qualities, off the ball is what makes the difference for these creative man. Yeah, look at Kevin, the areas he takes up. Are we skilling up Joe to that example to see what areas you need to take up on the field? To a fan, I believe we are, because obviously, why wouldn't you on the training ground? But to a fan, just looking at it, what we're seeing on a match day, I can't see it, people. And it's like a lot of players. It's like with Matteo Guendouzi. I think yesterday he was alright. Are we coaching him to do better in certain incidences? I think Eddie's proof that we're coaching, because he's looking very strong, he's looking very decent. You know, it's down to him if he wants to be the #1 striker at this club or a rotation option. But I definitely think Eddie's doing all right. But we need to work with these players, and I guess that's on Arteta, and you know, maybe with more time and things. But I don't know why, man. Maybe Joe's just going to be used there until this season and he'll be an 8. I think Joe Willock's an 8, or if not necessarily an 8, a pivot sort of man. But I can't see what it offers in the 10, bro. I'm not trying to scapegoat him. I'm not, you know, because it's not his fault we lost yesterday. Like, it's a collective effort, and obviously Luis had his thing. I'm just saying, as a fan looking at it, I can't see what he's bringing to the table in that position beyond the energy and the dynamism and things like that. And as I've got a lot of time for Joe, I'll defend him. But if by the same token, you know, if I've got to say you work hard, you put yourself about, you do all of these sort of things, I shouldn't have to praise that as a fan for one. And if I'm saying that, does that not mean you're not offering something probably technical wise? Joe, listen, I think Joe is doing it to his best of his ability. Like I said, I'm not making this a Joe witch hunt. I'm just looking at what I'm seeing on paper, people. Joe probably would have done more than Ozil, without a doubt. As much as I like Ozil, Ozil would have done a couple good passes, would have done a little 2-2 pressing with Aubameyang, but would have went missing. And we're in trouble in that creative position. We need, like I said, I think we need 2 midfielders. I'd like a centre half or 2, and I don't think all of this can be done. That's about 4. That's about 4 4 players. Sorry, people. Without even speaking about areas that Arteta might wanna address that we don't know about. You get it, people. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. I've got nothing more to add, so I'm going to get out of it. It's always a pleasure speaking with you lot. DG, I'm out.